I'm going to try something new today. I don't do these kinds of videos too often. I want to try doing more of these front-facing, talking to you kind of style of videos. It's something that I am both not good at and maybe good at. I'm not 100% sure. I'm typically a fairly talkative person, especially when I'm in a group, but I'm by myself, so I'm just talking to you and I'm not getting immediate feedback. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to try this out. Now, I want to talk a little bit today about goals in 2023. Now, I haven't been huge into goals the last couple years, at least concrete written down goals. And I'm not sure if I am now, but I do want to flesh out some stuff that I want to accomplish that hopefully will give you guys some ideas as well on things that you can pursue within reselling or even life. I mean, I'll probably talk a little bit of that. Last year, without even thinking much of it, I wasn't thinking much of it. We did a lot of stuff. We moved from Utah to Las Vegas. Dawn had lived in Utah for most of her life. I'd lived in Utah for most of my life, and Vegas is beautiful, and the weather is amazing, and we love it, but it takes some acclimatization. And, you know, one thing that you don't think about when you move, or maybe you do, we thought about it a little bit, is we had cultivated, plugs, people to buy stuff from for the 10 years that I've been doing reselling in Utah. And now we're kind of starting over. We're starting from scratch, trying to get to know the lay of the land here and where to find stuff to pick, and maybe who we can have, basically we can work with, that we can find stuff. Like we used to go to the flea market and we knew everybody and we could get great deals from them. But now we don't know anybody at the flea market, for example. So it's going to take a little bit of time. Also last year, a lot of you started following us when we did our Picking Across America series, which was a game changer for us. It was amazing. We were gone for 5 weeks. It was super tiring. We got to meet so many of you at both the Trash to Cash get together, the bash that we had in Tennessee, and also FlipCon in North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina. We were in so many states. I forget what state we were in half the time, but it was a lot of fun. Dawn had never been cross country like that, except back in the day, and I hadn't been for 20 plus years too. So it was a fun experience going to all these states, experiencing humidity, which was terrible. I don't know. Waffle House, which was kind of amazing, which I don't think I can eat at anymore. Maybe occasionally, but but it was good. It was pretty good. But it was just cool to see. And this was the thing. In every state we were in, we found stuff. Some locations were not as great as the thrift shops that we went to. But it showed me that everywhere in the U.S., you can find a store or a method, whether it's flea markets or like Facebook Marketplace, to find stuff to flip online. It may be different than here in Vegas. Vegas is very particular. It's a town where a lot of people come in and out, so there's a lot of stuff going to the thrift stores, and there's a lot of that culture here, and there's just a lot of stuff. But every state, every city is a little bit different. Utah was great too, as you guys know. Utah's famous for their thrift stores, the DI. But yeah, that was an eye-opening experience and a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure we're going to do something similar this year as well, so we're excited for that. Goal number 1 for this year is eBay. Now, I have a specific goal. I think it's important to have some sort of specific goal that you can try to attain. I want to get to $10,000 gross sales a month on eBay. I've never done it. I think we've come close in the past, but I'm a little bit off from that right now, quite a bit off from that right now, to be honest with you guys. So I want to refocus on eBay, and really the key is this. We go picking enough. I'm good at sourcing. I know what I'm doing. My main issue, and I don't know if I can solve this completely because I'm still going to be drawn towards sports cards and some lower end items, is I need to focus a little bit more, or a lot of bit more, on higher end items to flip. So I want to start, really, really pushing myself out of my comfort zone, because honestly, I know this sounds weird. I don't really like that kind of stuff typically. I just feel like maybe there's more inherent risk, or for something in my mind makes me think that they're just something I don't want to deal with. So my goal is to try to make sure that I have a plethora of $100 items, $200 items in my store on eBay at any given time, and a lot more of those $20, $30, $40, $50 items. I'm still going to be doing dollar cards. I'm not going to stop that, but that's going to be an add-on. I have software to be able to move through that stuff, and it's not all dollar cards. That's the low end of it. A lot of it's, $3, $4, $8, stuff like that. But I want to focus on higher end stuff. For the most part, I already know what it is. I already know what to look for. And it might mean I have to deal with electronics a little bit more, which I do not like. Or maybe it means I need to learn a couple new niches that aren't electronics, because I don't love those. But I'm excited to really push myself in that way. I've been doing reselling since 2011, since March of 2011. So I'm coming up on 12 years. And the one thing I love about reselling, the one thing that I just made me fall in love about reselling is that there's constant learning. That's what I liked about college, guys. I went to college through most of the 2000s, 2002 to 2010. I was gone for 2 years on a Mormon LDS mission. But I got 3 degrees. I loved going to class. I loved learning random stuff. And I probably would have stayed there if somehow that was economically feasible for me for my lifetime, because I love school. But that's one thing I like about reselling is I can get into pottery. And then not just pottery, I can get into certain types of pottery, different eras, different makers. It's just unlimited. And if you're curious, you can make a lot of money in this business. We have really been enjoying Whatnot. We kind of took a break, guys. We did like 6,000 sales in the first 6 months or so, and then really slowed down. We kind of got burnt out and I don't know if burnout's the right word. We just weren't using Whatnot correctly. But then we started focusing a little bit more on it, talking about it more on YouTube, especially letting people know what we're doing, showing what we're going to be putting in the auction. Going to the bins has been fun, and showing you guys, which we will do that a couple times this week because we do have an auction on Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I'm mentioning it yet again. Whatnot's something I want to work on. I think I want to get to about 8 auctions a month. So 2 a week. I'd like to do a few more card auctions. Cards I'm super passionate about. The only thing with cards is I hate having a card auction when I don't feel like I have, good stuff. I'm not going to be the high-end card guy with PSA graded tin Michael Jordan rookies. That's not me. That's not my style. But I do want some solid stuff when I put it through the auction. Stuff that people that I know that are similar to me, that are into, like the 80s and 90s baseball stuff. Like I love, I'm not going to put in my Frank Thomas auto, but stuff like that I would love to have in my auction. Stuff that I can afford to start at $2 and see where it goes. I may win, I may lose. So that's another goal of mine, is just really focus on Whatnot, because the cool thing about Whatnot is it's different than eBay in the fact that it's just like you put stuff up for sale, right, on Whatnot. You do an auction and you sell it that day. You might not get as much. Usually you get less than eBay, but you sell it right away. We've been going to the bins, as you guys have seen, putting that stuff in the auction that night and making a profit and having stuff left over for eBay or for future auctions. So that's super exciting. There's been nothing in really the history of online sales that has been quite like that. I'm sure eBay will implement it soon. So we're going to focus on Whatnot too. eBay and Whatnot, that's going to be the 2 pillars of our reselling business. I'm sure a lot of you know that I love doing social media. It's honestly totally, completely changed my life. I mean, I started in 2019 with YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at the same time. Many of you guys know my TikTok grew pretty fast, and I think it's at like 871,000. It just went up to 71. I'm acting like I don't know. I know how many TikTok followers I have, guys. 871 point something. But it's something I'm proud of, and it's something that I think has been something that's changed my life. It's given me a lot of opportunities. So, and this is the interesting thing for anybody who's ever thinking about doing social media. I literally watched YouTube reselling videos from 2011 when there was like 3 people really doing it. And one of them was like a storage unit guy. All the way up to 2019. I even did videos for like a couple months and quit. And I don't know why I just didn't take it serious like in 2012 or 2013. So I've been a connoisseur and somebody who was on the sidelines pretty much for 8 years before I decided to actually take the plunge and take the risk and do it. So that's something I'm passionate about. And because of that passion, it has become monetizable on all of those platforms, including Facebook. So it's something that monetarily has impacted me quite a bit. And what I want to focus on this year is I really want to work on the quality of my content. Really, I don't know if that's my strength. I'm not an editor, guys. I'm not great at editing. I love trying to tell a story and I love to pick. That's what I started with. And now I really want to work on my editing and making it as consumable and interesting as possible. And also try to, work on just talking in front of the camera like this. Dave, NC Picker, my good friend, does this so well. Stream of consciousness. I did theater for years, guys. Years and years. And I always have a hard time getting out of my head, if that makes sense. Sometimes I can flow. Especially on the podcast, if you guys watch it. #1 podcast in somewhere. Not here. Probably nowhere near us. But somewhere it's popular. I love it, guys. Trash to Cash. I do well there with other people. But I'm trying to work on it with myself, by myself. So I want to be a little bit more natural and as authentic as I can be in front of the camera, and work on my editing and all that, and grow my accounts. I'll be honest, I'd love to hit 1 million followers on TikTok. That's surreal. And it slowed down a lot. It seemed like it was inevitably going to happen this year, and it slowed down. So I have to really work on editing. TikTok's a different animal too. It's 15, 20, 30 seconds. So I have to work on my editing and probably throw some unique things in there. And YouTube, I know this will sound wild because I'm not even at 25,000 right now, but I want to get to 100,000 by the end of this year. I think it's possible, and I think a large way to make that happen is short videos. So you guys will probably see some short videos, but I'm going to continually do 4 to 5 or even more videos, at least 4 long form videos every week. I'm going to try more of this, just rambling in front of the screen, see what you guys think. I thought today being January 1st would be a good day to kind of do a goal video. So my social media is to grow that through improving on my editing and trying to get more comfortable in front of the camera, which I think I've improved in, but it's something that's still, I get performative because I'm a actor by training when I was younger. So I'm going to work on that. So I don't typically share that many personal things, sometimes on the podcast, but definitely not on YouTube that much. But one thing that's big for me right now, absolutely huge, and I'm super focused on, I just turned 39, guys. So I said maybe a little late, but I started to think a little bit more heavily about my health. And I am like seriously on a diet and working out more and trying. I'm not thinking of it as a diet though, guys. I'm thinking about it as a change in lifestyle, a change in how I think, a change in how I act, a change in how I behave. Because for years and years and years, I think for most people, food has been a coping mechanism for stress, for stuff, a distraction, entertainment for me especially. And to be honest, it's been a little bit difficult the last couple of days because I stopped not only soda, but diet soda. And I was a little bit taken aback by, I guess, how into it I was trying to go back into this room. But so that's been tough last couple of days. But my goal within the goal, right, is to try to be as positive about this as possible because this is going to make me and Don's life better. Don's also working on this as well, along with some of our reseller friends who I'm sure we'll talk about it along the way as well. We have a group of people who are working on this. So I'm excited about it for the energy that it will bring me and maybe the increased focus that I'll get from doing this. I hope you all liked this style of video. Any feedback you can give me on what you'd like to see more or have me and Don talk more about in depth, I'd love to do that. I definitely want to start doing a little bit more live videos with Don as well. We were really enjoying those and just got out of the habit. Habits are weird that way. We got into it and we just missed a week and then we started missing every week. So that's how habits can be sometimes, both positive and negative. So let me know what you guys want to see. I want to try more stuff like this, work on different creative things I can think of. This for me, obviously it's not a new concept to talk about reseller goals in the new year, but for me it's different. So I wanted to try it and just talk to you guys one-on-one and let you know what I'm focusing on. And hopefully it'll get you guys thinking about what you can focus on to not only improve, but maybe just enjoy this process more, because this is a cool job, guys, or a cool side income. It's a cool way to do things. I mean, you could do anything in the world, but you're doing this. And if you enjoy it, let's make the most of it.